Alright guys, back for day 30. And today I did a Deathwing Terminator. My Deathwing Terminators, well, my whole Dark Angel army is in Heresy color scheme. I play Horus Heresy quite a bit. And so I just painted all my Dark Angels that, and I just use them in 40k, and it's not a big deal. But so today I'm starting my squad of Lightning Claw guys, so started off by dry brushing, I should say, the model was primed black. Then I started by dry brushing heavily with Skaven Blight Dinge. Following that, I dry brushed slightly lighter with Dawnstone. And then finally, the smallest of dry brushes, or the least paint dry brushes, was Pallid Witchflesh. And then over the whole miniature, I used Nuln Oil to kind of soften those dry brushes down a little bit and just help to shade the miniature. So then I got into actual colors, and I started with Grey Knight Steel. I did that for all the silver. So that's his kneecap, Terminator honors, his belt buckle, the details on his face, the details on his claws, the vents in his back, and the gaps between like the back of his knees, basically. From there, I took some Mephiston red, and I did the sort of braided cord on his shoulder. Following that, I went back to Pallid Witchflesh and painted in the Dark Angel symbol on his right shoulder, as well as the Aquila on his chest. Then I went back to the Dawnstone and I painted the feathers that are attached to the red braided cable on his shoulder pad. Then I took some Screaming Skull and painted the Purity Seal parchment. I forgot to mention I also used Mephiston red for the wax on the Purity Seal. Then I did Baharoth Blue on the claws, following that up with Aethermatic Blue to shade the claws. And I think just this quick combination makes them look pretty decent. The Baharoth Blue kind of pulls itself to the center, so you get kind of an edge highlight on them without really having to do anything. Then I used some Talisar Blue on the eye lenses. That is his eye, like camera lens he has, plus the camera on top of his head. And I used Fire Dragon Bright for his actual eye lens of his helmet, followed by Gryph-hound Orange contrast paint. After that, I used some Blood Angels Red contrast paint to go over the cord on his shoulder pad, as well as over the wax on the Purity Seal, and then back to Fire Dragon Bright to highlight the cord. From there, I used some Cygor Brown to just do the lines on the Purity Seal as if there's writing on them. Nothing fancy, just little tiny lines, basically. From there, I did Skeleton Horde on the parchment of the Purity Seals, and Nuln Oil on the feathers on his shoulder pad, as well as very lightly on the Aquila and the Dark Angel symbol. Finally, for the model itself, I used some Screaming Skull to highlight the midline of the feathers. Then onto the base. I did the base a long time ago, at least textured it. This is baking soda and super glue with a little bit of like heavier gravel on it. Over that, I just used Gore-Grunta Fur, just straight over top of that, and then used some dark green Army Painter Tufts to follow it up, and then painted the base in black, and that was it. I think this was about a 30-minute paint job or so. I've never done black this way, the black armor. I think it helps it not just look like a black hole of nothing without being time-consuming. You obviously can paint black very well if you take the time, but I wanted something quick, and so 3 dry brushes, ink, call it a day. That works for me. But yeah, that'll do it. Thank you everybody for watching, and I will see you tomorrow for the last day of the month, day 31.